And we're live. It's Tuesday today. It's not a Wednesday. We're doing Closing Show live on a Tuesday. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. If you got the ping and don't know what this is, don't worry about it. It's all good. I've got you covered. The Closing Show Live is a weekly live show featuring the people of Proposify, sales stars in the trenches, and revenue leaders. Woo! The Closing Show Live is hosted by me, Nadia Milani, VP of Marketing at Proposify. Sign. Yeah, every week we discuss the challenges we're facing, the no BS lessons we've learned so you can crush your close rates. The Closing Show Live is brought to you by Proposify. Get consistency, control, and visibility into your proposal process. Start your 14-day trial at proposify.com today. So just some really quick housekeeping because this happens every single week. So I just wanted to let you know if these things happen, don't worry, do not fear. Sometimes the live will freeze. It happens on LinkedIn. Just press pause and play and you'll be back into the show, which is fantastic. You can catch the recording of this episode on the Proposify LinkedIn page or at proposify.com. And to win a prize, just ask a question in the comments. And today we're giving away a Proposify and Closing Show Live swag pack. So you're going to win an amazing hoodie, a t-shirt, and a tumbler. And we're also going to be giving away I think it's a 30-day trial, but I'm going to let the guest, let him speak on exactly what they'll win. And today's guest is amazing. So just before we start, I do want to let you know I'm flying solo today. So Hunter is not here. Hunter, our BDR extraordinaire, who usually gives away the prizing and does all the production stuff for the show, is not here, which means a couple of things might happen. One is that my switches may not be the greatest. It's been a while since I've done a solo. And second, I will be giving away the prize at the end. So I'll be doing that, but there will be no prize wheel. So wah, 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 wah. No sound effects either. So I'll have to create them myself. So I want to intro my guest today. He's actually a hard stop today at 12:30 Eastern. So I want to get everything done today. And it's a first ever that we're going to be looking at proposals. So we're going to go behind the scenes looking at proposals. So do you want to make your proposals better? So does Cory Bray. He is the co-founder of CoachCRM. Hey, Cory. Today we're going to be discussing the current proposal process at CoachCRM, the proposal format and structure Cory is using, and actionable takeaways from us, both of us, to really just improve your proposal process, all in the name of closing more deals. Hey, Cory. So happy you're here. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Nadia, great to be here, and I'm excited to get better around proposals. This is a topic I've put zero energy into, so I am happy to join you today.
Amazing. You know what? Like it happens. One thing that I know, and so this is like, I promise everyone joining us today, this is not a demo, but I actually do have a lot of conversations, not only with like people every day and our customers and all that stuff, but like a lot of people don't put attention into the proposal process. It's usually at the end of the buying process. And at that point, everyone's like, you know what, the deal's done, slap it together and like over and done with and send it off. And today we're going to talk about why it is important to give it some thought, especially with everything going on in the economy. You want to make it right. But before we get there, first of all, if you're joining us today live, say hi in the comments. And remember, if you want to win a prize today, a Proposify swag pack and a Closing Show Live swag pack, all you got to do is ask a question. Cory, you're giving away something else. What are you giving away today?
Yes, we have a free version of CoachCRM, and it's not a 30-day trial. It's free until we change our terms of service, which is probably years from now, if ever.
Amazing.
So, so if you go to CoachCRM.com, you can sign up for the free trial. It's not self-serve onboarding. You have to have me work with you for 30 minutes, but then you'll be ready to rock.
Woo! Awesome. Thanks for letting us know. So tell me a little bit more about you, Cory, and the guys. Hey, Robbie. Hey, Heidi. Hey, everyone joining us today. Tell us a little bit about you and CoachCRM. What do you guys do?
We help sales managers coach their teams better, and we help executives get more out of their sales managers. So a lot of times what happens is folks are promoted from salesperson to manager. They don't ever get formal training around coaching. And then they're off digging into pipeline interviews or listening to calls and doing all of these things, getting down in the weeds. And a lot of times folks struggle to zoom out and coach the player, not the play, and try to figure out, how do I get the most out of this person? And how do I coach each person differently? And how do I drive accountability coming out of coaching and just build every single person up on the team over time while showing the executive leadership team, hey, here's our plan, here's what we're executing, and then tying that to actual performance outcomes. That's what we launched last week, was now we can see all the coaching that we did, what we have planned coming up, and how that ties to real metrics coming out of your CRM.
So good. Okay, so side note, that is a whole other episode that I have not yet done for Closing Show Live. So I'm going to ask you to do one more episode about that in our second season, because y'all, for those that have been joining us every single week for the last little bit, this June is our last month. So then we're going to go on a little bit of a hiatus and then we're coming back. So Cory, I'm going to be asking you live. I'd love for you to come back to talk about that, because that is such an important topic. And it's so awesome that Coach CRM is solving for that problem.
Love it. I've never got rebooked 6 minutes into a webinar. Let's do it.
Amazing. So Mark says, I watched Cory train the sales team at the last organization I worked with, and he's great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Love that.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Hey, Mark. Hey, Aaron. Okay, so let's get to it. So today's a proposal episode. So just for you all that are joining us, all June, we're going to be doing proposal power-ups. So we're going to be talking about proposals behind the scenes, not necessarily in Proposify. We're just talking about proposals in general. And we're going to go behind the scenes, looking at them and understanding what the process is, why the proposal template is as it is. So let's just walk through, just to start and kick it off, the proposal process at Coach CRM. What does it look like? How does it look like today? Take us through that, Cory.
Well, I'm a big fan of not sending a proposal until you've got a commitment to buy, or until you've got a commitment that there's one step left to buy, and for some reason I can't get that specific commitment before we send the proposal. They want to review something. There's one step left before we can get that verbal acceptance. I hate premature proposals. A lot of times we see sales teams go out there and they say, oh, I sent a proposal. Why'd you send a proposal? Because they're collecting proposals from vendors. Cool. So you play the lottery.
Right.
That's not the game. So I think the way I like to do it is you do a ton of really great discovery. And then at some point, you meet with other people, you show the product a little bit, we run triangle selling. So whatever sales methodology you're running, you get to the point where you talk about, hey, here's how much it costs. Maybe do that in the first meeting, but at some point, here's how much it's going to cost for you. Here's what implementation looks like. Here's what the other terms are. And then yay, nay, maybe, whatever. Well, can we get to the point where they say, yes, that looks like something that we want to do. Let's look at the details on paper. And so that's usually when we put together a proposal. And like I was telling Nadia, I just put it in our contract, rip a video on top of it for a little context, especially if it's something they want to socialize around the executive team. And that's it. So I'd love to get the feedback here in the teardown and see what else other folks are doing.
And we're going to be doing that. So we're going to be looking at the actual template that you use and like how you do that and where the video sits in. So I love that. We're going to like go behind the scenes, and thanks for sharing that. Because sometimes people don't even want to share it either. Like,
yeah, it's the real one, unredacted. No, not hiding anything from you people out there in the internet world.
Yeah. Because like, what happens is like sometimes people are like either they're actually embarrassed by what they send. So that happens sometimes. Like they're like, I don't even want to show, like not even you, but also like live. They don't want to show it because they either think it's that bad, which it usually isn't, or they're just like, I just don't want to be ripped apart. So we're going to go into that. But before we do, like, so at Coach CRM, like how many people actually create proposals? Is it like just you? Or is it one person? Is it many people? How does that look like?
Just me for now.
Okay, cool. So that's awesome. So that's easy. So if you have one person creating the proposals, that's great. Because one of the things I hear is like brand consistency is usually the problem. Like if you have 10 sellers who are all creating proposals, and then like one person sending it in Word, and then another person sending it in, a PowerPoint. Some people still do that. And then, or, even if it's in software, sometimes like there is no consistency because like one person fills certain things out in a contract and some other people don't fill it out. So the fact that there's one person is really great around.
Well, I think it's brand consistency and also offer consistency. A lot of times we'll also see there's some people, they always want to give a discount. They do this premature, hey, this is list price, that just tells the prospect that you're here to discount, or they do silly things like offer extended payment terms to people that don't care about payment terms. They care about implementation speed and really not understanding what are all the different levers that you can pull in terms of the proposal and what matters to them, what doesn't matter to them, what matters to you, what doesn't matter to you, and coming to a really strong outcome where both parties can win.
That is such a good point. So one example is that I've talked to like a lot of service-based industries, specifically around like, IT or cloud. They have like many different products and pricing and offers. So that's a huge thing where, there's unique consistency around that. So if somebody's offering one thing, you want to make sure that it's consistent across all sellers or all people putting together the proposal, which is awesome. So take me through a little bit of like, I know you mentioned that you usually want to have an offer or a price specifically, or you've already kind of done all that discovery before you send a proposal. Anything else any other process that you follow before you actually send the proposal to your buyer?
Yeah. What's going to happen once I send it? Who's going to look at it? And then I like digging into, well, when folks have sent this person proposal in the past, what types of things do they typically do? So for example, if they got in-house legal, is your in-house legal team the type that wants to, I don't say this, but what I'm getting at is justify their existence by doing a bunch of red lines on things that don't really matter. Phrase that as you wish, prospect facing, but that's what I'm trying to understand, because if that's the case and they're going to go in there and hammer things, I want to know that. And then the second thing is, do they say, hey, we have to use our master services agreement? And so is sending a proposal even the right thing to do? Or is it, hey, when you work with companies our size, are you typically signing their paper, or is your legal team requiring a master services agreement? Do you have one that works for these types of engagements? I'd rather look at theirs and either work on it myself or get my guy to check it out than send my stuff over and have them rewrite the Constitution.
Right. So it's really understanding like what are who is really involved. And that's a really great point that you made. So whether it's legal or there's multiple buyers. And I do want to address that. I find that even like for me as a buyer, times have changed. So it's really no longer you're addressing the deal for a champion. You are now really addressing the deal for a committee. And I believe that the proposal is really at the center of being able to consolidate the buying process, which was your discovery at the end of the deal, because most likely it's not going to just be the one person that you've spoken to in the room or the virtual room that's going to be deciding if whether or not this actually gets signed. It's going to be a committee. So for example, I'm the buyer for some software. I'm a VP of marketing, head of marketing, reporting to the CEO, but I'm not signing my deals anymore. So even though you've been talking to me the whole entire buying process, it's the CFO that's actually going to be signing it. And what I find is that the more detail you can have in the proposal when you get to that stage, the better it is, because you're not only going to have to sell the buyer, you're going to have to sell really the committee of influencers. And the last thing you want to do is have the buyer summarize what they think. It's really having a document that can summarize everything that's been discussed. So there's no surprises at the end.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to say is when someone says, hey, I'm going to have my champion sell for me. Like, cool, question for you. Who's the newest salesperson at your company? They're like, oh, Pat's the newest salesperson at our company. I was like, how long has Pat been there? Pat's been there about 2 weeks. Cool. Would you give your best deal to Pat to go sell for you? And everybody always says, no, I'd never do that. Pat just started 2 weeks ago. I was like, well, Pat's a heck of a lot more qualified to sell your deal than your internal champion at your prospect. At least Pat has two weeks of training under their belt. So
right.
It's this weird thing where you just hand it over to somebody to try to figure out. And I think I'd love your feedback on this. That's why I included that video with the executive context, because if the executive team can't finish the following sentence, we're going to spend $20,000 with CoachCRM because,
right.
And if they can't finish the sentence after the word because in a way that makes it super compelling, yes, we absolutely need this, no brainer, let's do it, then as a salesperson, I've failed and I've completely wasted my time sending a proposal, because what am I proposing?
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to go take a look at the actual proposal. So for all of those people who are joining us, just give me an actual minute here, because I've actually never shared on StreamYard before. So we're going to.
This is going to be fun. We're going to see.
Yeah, this is a first time for. Don't show these tips again. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So share screen. We're going to do common paper. Here we go. There we go. Yes, I did it.
Nice job.
I feel so empowered that I've done this. So this is the CoachCRM. This is typical contract. So walk me through like what you typically will add to all of these sections. So you've got your cover page. So walk me through a little bit of what you typically, just high level, like what you'll usually add, which fields you're usually filling in. Are you going to be filling in all of these fields when you're when you're sending the proposal or you're at proposal stage?
Yeah. So common paper is our contract software, and these are the fields that are typically filled in. There's a couple other things that we could add. Yeah, it's price, duration, when the money's due, renewal terms, usage limitations, and that's really so that there's an upsell baked into the proposal,
Right.
and then all the mumbo jumbo.
Amazing. So where do you spend the most time here? So are you spending it like on a cover page? Are you spending as little time as possible on this? Like take me through like what's when you're at this stage, are you just trying to like dump as much as possible as quickly as possible to get it to the buyer so they can sign? Or do you like, okay, these are the really important fields that I need to like really focus on?
No, this takes 45 seconds to do. All of it's because we set up a template that we use, and then all I
Gotcha.
have to do is put in the price, the number of users, and then depending on how annoyed they are by price increases, I either include it or kill it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I
So
think that's one thing I want to point out, though. I
yeah.
love putting things in the proposal that I know are going to be redlined. And so
Okay.
I'll put an automatic escalation of 5% in there. I'll put, if I know they're going to be aggressive in redline stuff, I'll put all kinds of things. I'll put, we have the right to use your logo. We have the right to do a case study. We have all these things because you've got these friends. Everybody has these friends that are always just going to, have an opinion about something, right? We've all got these prospects that are going to redline or push back on something. Well, let them push back on something we don't care about. I don't truly care that I get a 5% escalation and a case study and all this stuff. I can probably get that stuff anyways down the road.
Right.
Let them redline that and keep all the other stuff in there that I actually care about, which is contract value and payment terms.
Love it. So it's almost like reverse psychology in some way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like being good at negotiation.
Amazing. So love that little hack. You take this proposal and you also add a video. To walk me through what you add into the video and why you add all that stuff.
Well, so for this one, I had never met your executive team.
Okay.
They don't know I don't know what they know about me. And so what I did was I put I think it was like a 70-second video that showed one screen in our product where you look at each individual on the team, what they've been coached on in the past, what we're planning to coach them on in the future, and what impact that has had on each of their metrics. And so we can say, hey, look, here's the pain that I think, I don't remember what I said. I probably said something like, hey, when I was talking to you, I understood that you have these 3 pain points. Here's how we solve for some of those things with this in place. This is the view that you'll get as an executive team, blah, 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 blah. So that way, Nadia is not going around saying, hey, I met with these CoachCRM folks and it's cool and it's great and it's interesting, all that stuff that doesn't matter. I'm saying, hey, because that's what she did. Like she's internalizing this emotion that she has because she's excited about it.
Right.
But what I'm doing is I'm articulating my own words around the specific pain that I uncovered relevant to a executive stakeholder in a way that she's not going to, because she's only spent one sales cycle with me. I do this all the time. And so if you've got your prospect selling on your behalf, you're creating the opportunity for massive unforced errors. And I'm doing it in a way that's super concise and fast and interactive with my little face down in the corner with the screen up there. All that types. People always talk about this async video for prospecting. It's way better bottom of the funnel. I use the heck out of it down there.
Yeah, I love it. So every year we launch the state of proposals. So we look at 1 million plus proposals in the Proposify software, and we generate all the insights. So for those listening who don't believe in the power of video, I'm sure most people do, especially in sales, but it's really underutilized in my opinion. I don't see much of it. But in the proposal stage, it will actually increase your close rates by 41%. So wow. That is, I know it's actually like,
and saying the F word only increases it by 7%. Think about what we could do with video, people.
Right. And we're seeing that increase as the market is harder because of that specific point, is that there are more people involved in the buying process. So if you can do what Cory did and you can summarize what the deal, this discovery was really about, but introduce yourself to really other people in the room that weren't there. Hello, right? Then that is going to help you close more deals. So what we find for the videos that are included in proposals and Proposify, there's about 5 things that usually help. So it's introducing yourself, which you've done, to the people that are not in the room. Summarize key problems you've identified. So what are the key problems that were identified in the discovery? So it's really bringing that discovery into that video, and then tying each problem to your solution. So it's really about, how am I going to solve for that? So for Coach CRM enabling your salespeople to be better managers so they can coach the individual and not the tasks, reminding them that that problem that you're solving is so key. Outlining next steps such as signing and kickoff. It's really also like, what are the next steps to get this done? So whether it's signing off or kicking off the call, if you, for example, have started an actual mutual action plan, if that's already started off, it's like outlining those points, and then lastly, thanking them and just like simple thank you. Did I miss anything? Like, do you do anything else, or do you suggest for other people to do anything in those videos, Cory?
I don't think so. I think that's great. I think, it's just got to be simple, because it's not. I think the other piece is that you're never trying to just nail it.
Right.
This is sales process for a reason. Processes continue, and we're just trying to make sure it doesn't get executed without us exiting it.
Heidi says, I wanted to include a video with my proposals, but my leadership team doesn't or hasn't bought into the idea. I'm trying to get them to see the value of doing so. So any thoughts on that, Cory?
Yeah, Heidi, send me your leader's fax number and I'll fax them a note telling them it's a good idea. How about that?
I love it. Bringing back the fax machine. I think that what the best way of doing it is testing it. So you can actually download free video tools like Loom. Vidyard has a free also version of their platform. So it's just downloading it, trying it, and then seeing what happens. Like what we've seen is up to 41% better close rates with video in proposals. So just try it, see what happens. Either
use it internally. That's the fastest way to create buy-in is use it internally. Kill meetings. Stop having meetings. Him and my co-founder, him and I mean, we talk on the phone. We call each other randomly, but we don't really do meet. I mean, we have like one meeting a week. And then other than that, we just do async video. It's literally the best way to communicate.
Coolio. Okay, so next we're going to go into, so we saw Cory's proposal template. So what I'm going to show you is like a typical proposal that we see, and what are the common things that are included in a proposal that help close more deals. So we're going to go into that right now. And you know what? I'm new at this sharing with StreamYard. So here we go. Let me try. This is round 2 of Nadia trying to share her screen on StreamYard. Usually Hunter does this, but Hunter, our BDR extraordinaire, is away today on vacation because they're all flying in for a marketing summit tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. Share screen. Here we go. Second time. And we're going into, okay. So what I did is I just grabbed a regular template in Proposify. So this is like a proposal, and I'm using the wrong thing here. Here we go. Oh, no, I think I just took away the stop share screen. So let's start this one more time. Present.
It's great to have a BDR named Hunter. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's Hunter S. Thompson, actually. So
no way.
Yeah, very similar to the author. I know, it's amazing. Okay, let's try this one more time. Cool. Yes, I did it with both of us in the screen. I love it. Okay, so yeah, so this is basically a template that we have in our proposal software. So I just grabbed whatever template. We have like hundreds of templates that are free that you can use on a free trial, and you can use them, etc. So what we have are a whole bunch of sections, and what we learned in the data and the state of proposals that we launched this year is that usually there are about a certain amount of sections that drive more deals, and they usually will include these sections. So really a project summary. So having an overview. So if you can't do it in video, it's having an overview that you can add that summarizes the discovery process. And what we notice is that those that had a more robust overview had a slight higher increase in close rates. So it's just summarizing it here if you can't add it in video. If you can add it in video, amazing. Then you add it there, and you can add it actually really in any of these sections. You just embed it, and we have integrations with some of the video software like Vidyard, etc. About Us is also another great page if you can't capture it in video. Again, many more buyers in the buying process. It's important to have a little bit of like, who are we? So who are we? CoachCRM, we're an enable software company. We help, SaaS tech vendors or whoever it is that you enable. or help all sales managers maybe in all different verticals. But it's adding who you are to build trust and to build that authority around who you are. Project summary, it's just summarizing what you've discussed it to be, and then project activities is kind of like a bonus that sometimes you can or you don't need to add. Timeline is all a part of like the project summary. Some people add this, some people don't. Some people add it to the project summary. And our team, this is like a really great additional page to add if you want to have some, again, authority around or building authority of who your people are, and just really telling the story of who your brand is. And this again, if you or just one person sending proposals, it might be good to just introduce who else on your team exists, because I'm not Milani, I'm a part of the team, but I also work with an amazing executive team. Adding them here is great. And then your investment, obviously, what this is going to cost. And adding any additional lines. You can actually add templates here, so there's consistency if you have more than one salesperson. And then obviously the most important part is your signatures. So getting that added, and there is a small hack here. So if you sign your proposal before sending it, it's 50% more likely to close.
No way. That's fascinating.
So if you sign your proposal, it's such a simple hack. You've signed it. You believe in this deal. You believe in moving forward. You are 50% more likely to close your deal. There you go.
That's awesome.
I called it e-sig one time on a call or a webinar, and then everyone thought I was talking about something completely different. So it's e-signatures in advance of signing it. The other thing is, okay, so what we've noticed is that there's a lot of proposals in Proposify that have images and that don't have images. So we looked at those. We said, okay, like honestly, if I add images, like, does it matter? Does it not matter? Who cares? And what we did notice is that if you do add images, so that includes like your team, or it includes like actual images of your product, if applicable, 82% of winning proposals have at least one image. 66% of winning proposals have at least 3 images. So we've seen in the data versus not having images that it does help with closing. And also the last hack that I'm going to send you, because I know you have a exact time that you need to leave. We talked about images. We talked about 82%, and then winning proposals have an average of 12 pages and 7 sections. So 7 sections is kind of like the baseline. So not all 10 or 11, but usually around 7 sections. I'm going to end it there. If you overdo it with proposals and make it too long, we have noticed that there's a lower and reduced amount to closing if you have less than 6 or 7 sections. So even if you have it in a contract template, just think about how many of these do I really need? How much of this actually works? But I know you got to go in about 1 or 2 minutes. So any final thoughts for the team or for the people listening on proposals? Anything that was like mind blowing from this chat? Anything that you're going to apply into your proposals moving forward, Cory?
I think the idea of sending images and signing before you send it over is really interesting. I'm going to sign it anyway, so why wouldn't I sign it before I send it over?
I love it. There you go. And so there is that one hack. If you want more proposal hacks, go to proposify.com. We have this latest data proposals that has 20 pages or more of like other things that you can add to your proposals. Cory, how can people get a hold of you if they want to know more about CoachCRM or they want to connect with you personally?
Yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn, CORYBR. I guess it's on the screen, so I don't need to spell it for you. And then if you want to do we have a free version of CoachCRM. So this is around managing one-on-ones that drive coaching conversations with your teams. And then if you sign up for it, you also get free access to our coaching course, which has $500 value. You just get free access to it. Book a time with me. We'll set you up and count for you and other managers at your company. And I hope everybody has a phenomenal rest of your week.
Awesome. You got to end the stream. You can leave the stream, Cory. I'm going to close everyone out. I know you got a meeting coming up.
Yeah, and anybody has questions, I think there's a couple questions there. Shoot me a LinkedIn message. I got a completely packed day until like 10 o'clock tonight, but I will respond to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Cory. Bye, Cory. Thanks everyone for joining. For all of those questions that we did not answer today live, I'm going to answer them in the comment section. So don't you worry. I'm also going to post the winner today. So Natalie, you win the prize. I did an auto win. So Natalie, you win the prize. So free version. You can, I mean, it's a free to everyone. So, but on top of that, I will be giving and mailing out a Closing Show Live and Proposify swag pack. Thanks everyone for joining. Next week, we're going to be continuing with the proposal power up. So if you're like, this is just not enough, I want more of this, we're going to be unleashing new proposal hacks next week. So we're going to be doing that on Tuesday. We have next week behind the scenes proposal lives with the sales assembly folks. So they're joining us on Tuesday. Then we have Victor Ijadola from Premium Content Shop joining us Wednesday. So join us for more proposal secret sauce all happening next week. Thanks everyone. See you in the comment section.